The Khattak is a Pashtun tribe numbering over 3 million, which speaks a variant of the softer Kandahari Pashto. The Khattaks are settled along the western bank of the Indus River from as north upwards as Lund Khwar, Katlang, Sawaldher, Sher Garh and near Malakand, Nowshera District, Kohat District, Mianwali District, Attock District and Karak District in Pakistan. Across the Durand line, a smaller number of Khattaks are scattered in Kandahar, Ghazni, Logar and Khost in Afghanistan. The historic capitals of the Khattaks were Teri, a town at District Karak, and Akora Khattak, a town at District Nowshera. The warrior poet Khushal Khan Khattak belonged to this tribe, and his contributions to Pashto literature are considered as classic texts. They have been translated into numerous languages. The Khattaks have high literacy rates in comparison to other Pashtun tribes, having achieved positions of influence throughout history. Migration from today's Afghanistan. Early records show migration of the Khattak from Ghazni, Ghor and Logar of modern-day Afghanistan. Later on, the Khattaks settled in the Sawaldher region of present-day Waziristan, Pakistan. Subsequently, they migrated further eastwards and settled in Bannu district, where the Pashtun tribes of Mughal and Honai were already settled. In the 14th century, the Shittaks, a tribe allied to the Khattaks which also previously held Sawaldher, migrated to Bannu. The Shittaks first defeated and drove away the Mongols and the Honai, and later gradually captured Bannu and pushed the Khattaks northwards to the southern portions of Kohat, where the Khattaks settled in Bahadakil and Teri. Then the Khattak allied with the Bangash, defeated the other Pashtun tribes, and occupied northeastern Kohat, Gumbat, Patiala and Zira Tipis. Eventually, the Khattaks settled in Karak and Nowshera, and finally a small number migrated to Nizampur, Mardin and Malakand. Khattak also migrated from Akora Khattak more than 100 years ago, and settled down in city of Mansehra in the current-day province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. They are settled in the city of Mansehra, and in the villages of Lambi Deri, Kotke, Jagir, and Labarkit. In addition, they are settled in some areas of Abbottabad. Khushal Khan Khattak, a warrior poet by the name of Khushal Khan Khattak, was once the chief of this tribe, and his contributions to Pashto literature are considered as classic texts. His life and times are one of the most chronicled and discussed subjects in Pashtun history, as he was active on the political, social and intellectual fora of his times. He was the most voluminous writer, and composed no less than 360 literary works, both in the Pashto and Persian languages. His poetry revolves around concepts of honor, justice, bravery and nationalism, and his works have been translated into numerous languages, English and Urdu being the primary ones. Older references. According to Nimatullah's 1620 work History of the Afghans, the Khattaks are amongst the oldest of the Afghan tribes. The history has been closely knit with that of the Khattak, have given the place to Usai tribe from the first settlement around the mountains of Ghor and Ghazni to present-day east central and northeastern Pakhtunkhwa province of Pakistan. The Satagudai were a people mentioned by Herodotus in connection to people under the influence of the Achaemenid Empire. Herodotus Book 3, 91. The Satagudai and the Gandhari and the Dadakai and the Aparutai, who were all reckoned together, paid 170 talents. Herodotus, without assigning a name to the satrapy, tells us that Darius's Yth satrapy was inhabited by 4 tribes: the Satagudai, the Gandhari, the Dadakai, and the Aparutai. The addition of the Aparutai correspondence helps to buttress the case for finding in Herodotus traces of names which carry through to the present day. Bellew has gone further and identified the Satagudai with the famous Khattak tribe. The Pathans 55 OB, CAD 1957 printed St. Martin's Press 1958 by Macmillan and Company Limited. Satagudai. Numerous historians identify the Khattak with the Satagudai. Sir Olaf Karo, The Pathans 550 BC 1957 AD. Let us now refer to the third passage cited, in which Herodotus, without assigning a name to the satrapy, tells us that Darius's YTH satrapy was inhabited by 4 tribes: the Satagudai, the Gandhari, the Dadikai, and the Aparutai. Bellew has gone further and identified the Satagudai with the famous Khattak tribe, and the Dadikai with an obscure branch of Khakas whom he calls Dadi. Khattaks and Shetaks. Sir Olaf Karo, The Pathans 550 BC 1957 AD. Neither Khattaks nor Shetaks appear by name until the period of publication of genealogies under the Mughals, and the time of Akbar's dealings with the Khattaks for the protection of the highway to Peshawar. Babur indeed in his memoirs mentions the Quranis whom he encountered in 1505 around Banu along with the Nayazis and Isakil. It is probable that this reference of his is to Khattaks or Shetaks, or both, for both are Kalani tribes, and the other Kalanis who live in that area, Oasias and Bangash, Babur mentions by name when he comes to them. Quote, "It is thus clear that Babur and Amp, other Mughals in the descriptions identify Khattaks and Amp Shetaks together without any differentiation." In Pashtun history, Sir Olaf Karo, The Pathans 550 BC 1957 AD. Taken together, the Khattaks and the Shetaks, who now have a common boundary close to Banu, cover a stretch of territory as large as that held by any Afghan or Pathan tribe, whether Ghazni, Yusufzai, Durrani. For the Khattak settlements around Lund Khwar, close to the Malakand Pass, to the Shetak villages in Upper in the Tochi, the distance is over 200 miles. The wide extent of the present territory, the large population, and the association of both groups of tribes at one time or another with the rich oases of Banu and the Tochi, suggests sufficiently their importance in this family of peoples. Theory of Israelite descent. Khattak tribe has oral traditions and legendary history of descent from the Israelites. Kushal Khan Khattak, chosen Malik in 1641, believed that Malik was a continuation of the Israelite title Malik given to the legendary progenitors King Saul and Malik Afghana. Kushal expresses that the Khattak reputation for fierceness and valor stems from the fact that Khattaks and Afghans have been nursed by the lioness's milk. One of the first progenitors of the modern tribe is Manal. Manal is considered to be a modification of Manas from the word Manasseh. In his book The Armies of India, A.C. Lovett declares the Khattaks to be a widely enlisted tribe, who also lay claim to the Pashtun Jewish descent. Theory of descent from the Greeks. After the creation of Pakistan, some Pakistani scholars suggested a Greek descent for the Khattaks. However, from the histories of Herodotus, Book 3, 91, it is clear that a tribe by the name of Satagudai were already settled in the area around current-day Ghor in Afghanistan and paid as tribute, coinage and materials to the Greeks when they subjugated these areas. The Satagudai and the Gandhari and the Dadikai and the Aparutai, who were all reckoned together, paid 170 talents. Later, Bellew, Karo and other historians both Pashtun and Western through the works identified the Satagudai with the famous Khattak and Amp Shetak tribes. The Pathans 55 OB, CAD 1957 printed St. Martin's Afghans Press 1958 by Macmillan and Company Limited. Though all Afghan DNA including Khattak DNA has minor contributions from haplogroups more common to the Greeks, these are minor enough to rule out a direct lineage. Together with works from Herodotus and more recent historians, the theory of Khattak descent from the Greeks is unfounded. Afridi Khattak history. Sir Olaf Karo, The Pathans 550 BC 1957 AD. The Afridis and Khattaks, lumped together as Kalanis, can be held to reflect a knowledge that they represented a more aboriginal stock, which only later absorbed the characteristics of the invaders. In other words, it is not surprising that in looking for a prototype in the oldest recorded history bearing on this region we hit on the ancestor of the Pakhtun. Molding and amalgamation. Sir Olaf Karo, The Pathans 550 BC 1957 AD. This is not to assert that the ethnic or linguistic stock can be traced through to tribes of similar names today. The case would be rather that these were substratum agglomerations of people who, through contact with later comers, modified the language and were assimilated to later cultures, but retained in the more inaccessible places sufficient of their older inspirations to boast their original names. The theory does at least give a starting point to Pathan history and amp the stock belief in the Bani Israel. Khattak tribes. Borak Khattak areas. Chokhara, Trakakoi, Sabirabad, Delhi Mila, Nari Panos, Isak Chotra, Nari Panos, Takta Nazrati, Gahadakil and Amp Bandadord Shah Latambaran Mandawa, Totaki, Karam Muhammad Zai, Shahwa. Akora Khattak areas. Peshawar Nowshera city centers. Peshawar, Akbarpura, Akora Khattak, Mansara, Manki Sharif and Cherit Kalakakwara and Attock. Yusufzai Khattak areas. Mardan, Sawabi, Malakand, Charsadda city centers. Lund Khwar, Jamalgai, Sher Garh, Katlang, Haitian, Sakakot, Shadhiriswat. Sofri Khattak Bangi Keela, a subtribe of the Khattak. They are located in Mianwali in the province of Punjab. The tribal location is bound by the district of Karak to the northeast, the district of Kohat to the north, and by the Indus River to the south. The tribal capital is Tabazar. The Bangi Keel are further divided in two parts, the upper and lower Bangi Keel. The main villages Tola, Sanda, Bangi Keel, Manjagondi, Mado Chanda, Nerarob, Mesrana, Misawala, Chapre and Tola Magali. The main sub-tribes are Hakim Keel, Baba, Hibit Kel, Yani Keel, Saho Keel and Manki Keel. Sofri Khattak in Banu. Presences of Sofari Khattaks are also proved in District Banu. The large numbers of the said sub-tribe Khattaks are living in village Kotka Khattak in Fatima Keel. The chief Sher Shah son of Fateh Shah was migrated from village Khanri Makad Estate Attock in 1861 due to some political and properties issues, with Ghulam Muhammad who take the position of Khan of Khattaks in 1861 after death of his father Shah Ahmed Khan. Sher Shah first migrated to Calabar and latter then shifted to Banus, where he started his life as translator to English government. He started living in Gari Shah Ahmed, then he shifted Fatima Keel. He have two sons, Sher Ali Khan and Amir Ali Khan. Sher Ali Khan have one son who died bachelor, while Amir Ali Khan have 8 sons, named Shaista Khan, Bangi Khan, Mir Kabut Akbar Ali Khan, Sher Nawaz, Ahmed Nawaz, Amir Nawaz, Guldaraz, one of Amir Ali Khan's son Amir Nawaz, who was a mechanical foreman in Baghai Transport Company, migrated to Quetta Balochistan in 1947, where he settled and attached with the business of timber. History of Banu by Jahangir Khan Sikandari. Banu in Mirror of History by Faizi. Presently Malik Qasim Ali Khan is the chief of these Khattaks in Banu. Borak Khattak of Karak. Areas: Karak District, which includes 3 tehsils named Karak, Bandar Dawud Shah and Takhti Nazrati. District Karak has the highest literacy rate. This is the only area where no other tribe except Khattaks are living. As Khattaks are brave and well-built people, most of the Khattaks living in Karak district have been serving the armed forces of Pakistan, both as soldiers and officers. The land in Karak is dry and people rely mostly on rain for agriculture, thus leaving them with no other option than to work hard and study. The people from this region are mostly peaceful and nationalist, with no linkage to terrorism or extremism due to high literacy rate, yet they observe strict Islamic culture and they unlike the use of forces in other tribal regions. Khattaks on majority believe in education to women and many of them are working women in different civil services and government's jobs. Currently they are in the best positions worldwide, making the way towards the top in every organization due to the hard work, honesty and intelligence. Karak is enriched with oil and gas and in near future is going to be the Karak of Pakistan. Safri Khattak. Safri Khattak is a sub-tribe of the Khattak tribe. Safri Khattak are spread in many villages on the east bank of the river Sindh, and on the boundary of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Attock District in Punjab, Pakistan. Demographics: the Khattak sub-tribes include the Seni Khattak, Barak Khattak, Akora Khattak, Mungai Khattak, Matu Khattak, and the Safri Khattak. They also live in Sindh, Balochistan and Punjab provinces of Pakistan. In past there was democratic process to make a new leader of the tribe by vote of leaders of clans. Each tribe leader was given extra land as jagir to cover the expenses of his public kitchen. There are 3 chieftain of Khattaks, Khan of Teri, Akora and Malakand. It seems till the time of Kushal Khan, Khattaks were having 1 chieftain at Akora, Bangi Kals live at Narabani Afghan, Tabisari at Mianwali and some village at Kandahari District Kohat. Bangi Kila Mujin counts are mostly considered separate tribe of Khattaks, but actually Bangi Kila and Akoras are part of Safris. Sugras living at Kandahar are called as Topi Sufri, whereas at Attock are called Naray Sufri in local dialect. According to Punjab government revenue record, Safri Khattaks living at Tehsil Jand belong to the following clans: Pats, Taraf Nara comprise the Patti Kauzar Keel, Patti Nanadrak, Patti Katakil, Patti Abdul Keel and Patti Chandal Keel. Patti Taraf Saeedid Keel comprise Patti Nanadrak, Kotiwal, Qureshi, Bangash, Awan, Malia and Sarban, and Patti Taraf Jamal Keel. The property belonging to each Patti is separately compiled as book to avoid mistake due to repetition of names. This system provides authentic family tree through inherited land transfer record. Today each Patti is subdivided in dozens of sub-khels. Sugras in the past were a warlike people and didn't have written history, but wisely they recorded their existence through naming the new settlements with old names. Lund Khwar. Lund Khwar was known in the old days as Sama. The Khattaks here are the direct descendants of those Khattak warriors who came down from the Khattakili areas and settled down in the early 16th century during the times of the great Kushal Khan Khattak. In his campaign of Swat, Kushal Khan Khattak had camped here, and those of the Khattaks that live here today helped him in his wars against the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. Notables: